Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to another banger video. You already know how it is, liking, commenting, and subscribing, because we are on the road to 2K. So if you want to see your boy make it to 2,000 subscribers, then click this like button and share this video with your friends so they can subscribe to this channel. Today, I got another story for y'all, and it's going to be a good one because this story takes place back in summer 2023. Probably one of the best years ever. Because I feel like years after that are just absolute fucking shit. 2024, social anxiety hit me hard, right? Summer 2025, I was lonely as shit. Now, it's 2026. And you know what? It is time to make summer 2023 all over again. Because you know why? Because Prime Vince is back. Yes, I'm in my prime. Alright? You know, I haven't really changed much since 2023, you know. I still have the personality from 2023. You know, I'm like barely even irritable. Like, you've really never seen me be angry unless it's a totally valid crash out, if you know what I mean. You know, like, you're getting your vape stolen, you know. Hey, I do have a story on that too. But that's not today's story. Or what's another totally valid crash out? Trying to find a song. Because nowadays, it is just really hard to find a good song to listen to. Okay, you know, you'll be on like fucking Spotify or YouTube Music, and you know what? You're there for like 3 minutes, you know. Awkward silence. The car is silent. The car ride is really silent. So then the person, like, one of the people up front, it's either the driver or the passenger, and they said, yo, play something. And I'm like, bro, I'm trying to find something good to fucking listen to, because there's literally nothing good to listen to these days, right? And you know, that'd be the same with, like, YouTube, you know. You'll just be waking up from your after school nap, you know, you're fucking angry as hell, you're like, give me fucking caffeine and food. And then, you know what, you go you go to your TV, right, and, you know, you go find something to watch on YouTube, and then you're there for, like, 5 minutes trying to find a video, so you're fucking crashing out, saying, yo, why the fuck did I wake up if there's nothing good to watch on YouTube? Because what happened to the good days that you were able to fucking find a video, click on it, and you know what, it'll actually be some decent shit. Now it's just like, you know, you'll be there for like 10 minutes just trying to find a video. Like, at this fucking point, just scroll shorts. You know? Even though half the time, you know, if your shorts feed is like cooked like mine, like, bro, my shorts feed has been cooked for the past few months. Like, I swear, like, towards the beginning of the year, I'd have like that fucking sticker stamp effect. I've used it on a couple of my videos. And, you know, they've actually done, like, really good. Like, I swear, they got at least, like, 5,000 views. And, like, making shorts is, like, some of the, you know, easiest way to reach people. Because, well, everyone's attention span is cooked. Or, like, the fucking, what else have I really had on my shorts? Yeah. But I swear, it literally made me crash out because it's just like, I still watch the same fucking content. You know what I mean? You know, even though the content makes you crash out because it's repetitive, right? You still watch it. But hey, we're 4 minutes in, and we actually need to cut to the chase. So today, I'm going to tell y'all about a story about how I stole my friend's weed. So, this story takes place back in summer 2023, alright? You know, I was planning on hanging out with some of my friends, you know, we were gonna go, you know, smoke up, you know what I mean? Because summer 2023, I was a fucking dumbass, and I still am a dumbass till this day. Like I said, haven't really changed since 2023. So, you know, this night, you know, we were smoking, you know, and we ended up going to Corey Hill, alright? You know, we took a walk around, like, the park, you know, we enjoyed life when we were high, you know, it felt like we were alive and shit. So, we were walking around the fucking nature center at like 11 p.m. at night, right? And, we were just out here living the best life, I was with like two of my buddies, and I'm actually still friends with one of them to this day, I even went to a car meet with him. So, hey, I know you're watching this, man. I just want to say, I fucking love you, bro. So, yeah. We were living our best life, and, he picked me up in his BMW, and it is a really nice BMW. It is a manual. It's an E92, and this might be funny for me to say, but I'm calling a 328i a nice car. Why? Because it's just so fucking clean. How often do y'all find a clean-ass E90, E92 BMW with a manual transmission, no iDrive? It's a fucking clean-ass BMW. So, to all y'all out there saying, oh my god, why is it calling a 328i nice? Shut the fuck up. For real. And go straight pipe your N20. Why do I sound like I own a BMW? Knowing damn well I don't. Y'all should give me money for BMW. Go cash at me money so I can go get BMW. I need money for M2 competition, so cash out your boy so I can go get 50K and I can go buy an M2 competition. But hey, it's a really nice car, okay? It has no navigation, it's a manual, it's got a sunroof, it's even got like the red interior. Like, it is really hard to find a decent example with a BMW with a red interior that's not clapped out. So, we were like driving around, we ended up going to Chick-fil-A, I don't even eat there anymore. I haven't even had Chick-fil-A since like 2024 because I don't know, ever since I had like a weird reaction to nuts. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm allergic to nuts, but I just had like a really weird reaction where it's like I started to feel really anxious. Like, I actually felt like I was gonna fucking die. Because, I was like, and I was like in my fucking health class, right? And I was just like really fucking anxious. I was like, am I actually gonna fucking die? Because keep in mind, like in 2024, anxiety, like that shit hit me hard too, bro. But now it's just like, what is there to be anxious about? You know what I mean? So, ever since I had that weird reaction, I haven't really been too crazy for Chick-fil-A. Plus, after hearing a lot of things about Chick-fil-A being homophobic and not supporting gay people, I just said, you know what, fuck that shit. Just eat at McDonald's. It's just as good. I feel like nobody talks about fucking Chick-fil-A anymore. So yeah, that night, we got Chick-fil-A, and, he actually ended up getting me money. I think I got, like, fries or nuggets that night. I didn't get both because he only gave me $5, so, like, I think I had, like, some fries or something. And, I still love him for that. So, like, I think it was that night, And, we ended up, like, driving around some more, and, we were living the dream. And then, he was dropping me off, I was in the car, and, I was still fucking chiefing on that yard. Yeah, because back then, we called them carts, we called them the Benjamin. Now, they're just called yarts. Apparently, the term yart was invented by somebody who works at Domino's. I think I heard it on Insta. You know what? I'm gonna go look that shit up. Where did the term yart come from? Oh. And my fucking thing fell over. Oh, apparently it came out in 2018. Okay, but we didn't start using it until like fucking 2026. Maybe 2025. I'm not even sure when we started using it. But, I was still chiefing on that shit. And, I got home around, like, 12:30, and then, I was still in the car, right? I said, oh, I think I left something. I didn't say this, but, like, I just like put a fucking cart in my pocket, right? And then, I started walking in the house, I was like fucking I think I was giggling. I'm not even sure. But my dumbass decided to text one of my friends saying, "Yo, I stole weed. I stole my friend's weed." And he said, "Whose?" I can't even remember if I said it like that. But I said, "Yo, I stole someone's weed." And then, apparently the girl that I was texting ended up telling the dude that I stole weed from. And I think she was like, "Yo, I heard Vince stole your weed." So then the fucking guy who had the weed, who gave it to me, ended up like saying, "Yo, Vince, do you have my fucking weed? Do you have my cart?" And I said, "No, I don't have it." I'm not even sure if I said that, but I said, "No." And he said, "Show." So, of course, like, I ended up coming clean because, I'm not trying to lose a good buddy. And I said, "Yeah, bro, I stole it from you." And, he said, "Hey, don't you ever fucking do that shit again, bro." And, that night, he just drove off, and nothing ever happened after that. And then, we still talk about it to this day, how I stole his weed. And they were like, I was hanging out with him one night. It was like a couple weeks ago, and he was like, "Yo, bro, Vince, remember the time you stole my cart?" And I said, "Yeah, bro, I was really fucking stupid back then." And you know what? I still am to this day. But am I ever gonna steal someone's stuff? No. Why? Because I've learned from this. So, moral of the story, stealing is wrong. Alright? It's just gonna get you into trouble. Alright? Says the person who fucking steals from Walmart. You know what? Go check out that shoplifting video, bro. Oh, that one's a fucking good one. Like, I remember, like, I was really fucking dumb back then, bro. Like, just looking back at it, like, I was, like, really fucking stupid. Alright? Like, bro. Would I ever steal again, though? No. Alright? It's wrong. Okay, I did not sound serious about that, but hey, stealing is wrong, It can fuck you up. So, I do have a story about how I got my vape stolen. And it's actually a pretty recent story, so I should probably tell it before my memory gets fogged up. Alright, I sound really weird right now because, like, I just took melatonin and I'm starting to get, like, really tired, but knowing how nights like this go, right, you start to feel tired, right? But then, like, not even, like, 30 minutes later, like, you feel like you're, like, wide awake. So, yeah. So, that concludes this video. If you like what you see, like this video, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to this channel. Peace out until then.